Hello and welcome. Just a few thoughts on Scotland, Italy in the Six Nations 2025 opening round. So Scotland 31, Italy 19. Sorry, looks a bit off. Um, so what looks on paper like a dominant Scotland win was actually far from it in the game. I never thought realistically Italy were going to come through and win it, but you could see they were troubling Scotland, and there was the chance of an upset, but not really a huge one. Just they kept pressuring Scotland into making more and more errors unnecessarily, really. So just to look at Scotland first, the inconsistency must be maddening. You build that lead, get a great start all over Italy, doing the right things, and then just saying, oh, why don't you have a chance? Why don't you come back into it? It's top tier professional rugby in the Six Nations. You've got to be ruthless. You've got to just keep on at them, keep doing the right things, keep that game plan, and just make sure that you score as many points as possible. Um, so I thought a few people were really good for Scotland. Obviously, Hugh Jones, man of the match, 3 tries, outside centre, just running wild in the free spaces, getting on the end of passes in the right time, right space, just looking sharp. Um, Defensively, looked solid too. I don't remember a huge amount coming through his channel. Obviously, Rory Darge in the back row, co-captain. We know what he can do. We saw what he did. Just makes his tackles and then is a real opportunist around the breakdown. Knows when he's got that right nose about him, just when to sniff that it's the right time just to pounce and go for the ball. By and large, he gets turnovers and he got several in the game. Very important. Or he just slows it down or is a nuisance just to the opposition. Stafford McDowell, big man, stepped into Tuipulotu's place inside centre. Um, Finn inside him as the other co-captain, and just did exceptionally well. Again, just defensively solid. Just did all the, unglamorous stuff, so that in a good world, Finn would have done the outstanding stuff just to help Scotland win by more. Uh, Finn obviously had an off game. Blair Kinghorn, just some of the best rugby of his life. Really kicked on, moving to Toulouse. Amazing what a little bit of sun will do to a Scotsman. Uh, just right place, right time again, getting under the ball, knows when to kick, knows when to have a run, um, and just rarely makes a mistake. Other people might be flashier, might do the better offloads, might have the more YouTube friendly steps, but he's just that solid presence. If he keeps going, could he be wearing red in the summer? I would not put it past him. You know, certainly in contention for the squad. The ability to play on the wing as he did for years with Scotland while Stuart Hogg was there, and the ability to slot into 10 when they were trying to figure out a way to play without Finn for various reasons. Duan and Van der Merwe and Grant Gilchrist, both very good games. Duan showing off his new passing skills. More like, here's the hot potato. But you got through, got a good try, so nothing to be ashamed of. Far better than I could be. So, by their own standards, I would say both Fagersons. Um, Xander not on the pitch as much as he usually would. Matt did very good stuff, but couple of penalties against him, I felt, and just normally a good line-out jumper as well, and that didn't really fire. So definitely far from bad games. That's probably like your 6, your 7 out of 10 sort of standard, whereas they're normally playing at least an 8. So maybe just rustiness getting back into international rugby, step up from the club game. Darcy Graham obviously had that brilliant break for the first second half try. Um, but otherwise, getting up under the ball, Italy tried to get some spillage from him, just saying, oh, not the tallest man. So even though he's a great jumper, great taker of the ball, just physics. If he's 5'7", 5'8", I think it is on paper, and you put someone up who's 6 foot, over the course of the game, you're going to be able to jump him at some point. Just, small man, tall man. Um, Otherwise, good. Finn, that ludicrous offload. It was almost like, he'd had a bet before with the Italy guy and said, obviously, not saying that he's trying to line his pocket, but just like, I can't pass you the ball. Um, just a few other off things as well. But, still kicked the ball, still kind of kept Scotland in the right areas of the park. Didn't get frustrated and try and play out of his 22 or his half. Made sure that it was kind of sensible-ish rugby for him, and then just had some individual errors. So people say, "Oh, it's a terrible game." Yeah, not great, but in the past that would have absolutely destroyed Scotland's chances of win and left them looking down the ruins of another Six Nation. Whereas he's made sure that it's come through with a 5-try bonus point win, without Italy getting a losing bonus point. So judge that how you will, but I think it's all right. And the same goes for Dave Cherry. Didn't do much wrong. But then the lineup, which has been quite a strong weapon for Scotland recently, and Glasgow, and to a certain extent Edinburgh, didn't quite kick off. Not necessarily just the hooker's fault. Could be the opposition disrupting it. Could be you're not able to set it cleanly. Maybe your jumpers, their timing is off slightly. Ben White, you know, got Scotland into a good lead, so you can't complain too much. But George Horn was a completely different prospect when he came on. So yeah, when those forwards, the substitutes, not forwards, came on, especially the Glasgow ones, who are the form players at Glasgow, who are starting or have been starting a lot regularly, especially in the European games. As I said, George Horn, Tom Jordan as well. They just brought an energy, a directness, a desire to win, to ensure like that single bloody mindedness, that nuggety edge that Ireland had that won it against them, won the game against England for them, as I'll go into in the next one. They just kind of had that about them to say, no, Italy, not today, or until all the other Scotland players, right, in the past you might have kind of given up now. No, no, we're going to win. That's what's happening. Not necessarily by getting them in a circle and saying that, but just by physicality, that desire, that passion. It was there. Also, when they came on, Italy, a lot of the players would have been tiring, worn out. They tried everything. They're still behind. They had their chance. And those moments of magic, they can eat at you. So, again, combination of that. Italy, good in parts. They went 12 points down and then came back to give a good game of it. Could easily gone into another France-Wales score. Sorry for all the others getting on top of things. Did their pressure open up Scotland, or did Scotland just switch off? That's the question Italy will be asking themselves, and Steve Tandy and Gregor Townsend will be asking Scotland. Was it Scotland saying, why don't you have a go? Or is it Italy saying, right, this isn't good enough. Let's up our physicality. Let's get into them around the breakdown so we get some space out wide so we can actually get people like Capozzo onto the ball. Didn't quite work out that way, but they made a very good game of it. Some people didn't maybe have that attitude all the way over. Ioane, look at the first, second half try, just could have put his body in the way, dived over to try and stop the ball going down. Probably wouldn't have done much, but you don't know unless you do it. And at that top level of international, especially in the Six Nations, you've got to do that. You can't just stand back and say, nice try. You've got to just have that desire to protect your line at all costs in defence. You could see that from Steve Tandy at halftime into the Scotland players, and Cazeda and all of the rest of the Italian coaching staff will be into Ioane and everyone else in the right way, constructive criticism and all that to improve as well. Forwards went toe to toe, by and large, no massive disparity there. Scrum was even too, 50-50, the odd penalty as it is, but there was no sort of South African level of dominance from either team. No bomb squad coming on or anything like that, just good solid scrums all round. Not a bad thing, not a good thing, just solid scrums. Um, by and large, the Italian backs were contained by Scotland. You know, few little mistakes here and there, but I felt they didn't really get a chance to get into their attacking patterns, get the setup they wanted, and it was just kind of shut down. So, tip of the hat to Steve Tandy for that. Good chance of him wearing red as well in the summer. As the defense coach, unless someone wants to step in and say, Sean, why don't you go? Unless Andy Farrell is just going to do it himself. You never know. So, overall, Scotland, good performance. Lots to improve on, which is what you want. You've got Ireland coming next week. You don't want kind of bed full of rotten roses or something. Just gotta, as it's happened in the past, you think you're everything and then it just all collapses. So having a lot to work on is not a lot on, but quite a few things is probably good for Scotland. Italy would obviously want the win. They'd have obviously wanted a bonus point of some sort, but they shouldn't be disheartened. They've come to Murrayfield, tricky place to come to these days. There's a crowd starting to get in. It's cold, it's windy, it's damp at times. So they've done well. They've made a game of it. They'll certainly beat Wales. I'd expect them to do that. And I could see them beating someone else, whether it's England, whether it's Ireland, whether it's France. We'll wait and see. But certainly impressed by Italy. Let me know what you think down below. If you enjoyed it, please do like, comment, subscribe, all of those things. Just they really help. Let me know if you like it or not. Cheers. Bye.